The announcement of Prince William and Kate Middleton's engagement in November 2010 ignited a wave of excitement not only across the United Kingdom but throughout the entire world. For years, the public had watched their romance develop, endure separation, overcome the relentless glare of the media, and ultimately transform into a strong partnership rooted in trust and loyalty. Now, with the promise of marriage, anticipation soared to unprecedented levels. Newspapers ran endless headlines about the wedding of the century, television programs speculated on details from the dress to the guest list, and royal fans from around the globe began planning their pilgrimages to London. For many Britons, the union of William and Kate represented more than just a marriage. It was a symbol of stability, renewal, and hope for the monarchy after years of turbulence. Memories of the late Princess Diana's wedding still lingered in the hearts of millions, and the idea that her son was about to embark on a new chapter of love carried profound emotional weight. Kate, once an ordinary girl from Berkshire, had captured the admiration of a nation through her patience, composure, and authenticity, and now she was stepping into history as the future bride of a king. The months leading up to the wedding were filled with speculation and excitement, as the world counted down to the moment when Catherine Middleton would walk down the aisle at Westminster Abbey, forever transforming from commoner to princess before billions of watching eyes. One of the earliest decisions for William and Kate's wedding was choice of venue, and it was one that carried immense symbolism. Westminster Abbey, with its soaring Gothic arches and centuries of royal tradition, was chosen as the site where their vows would be exchanged. It was the same church where Queen Elizabeth had been crowned, where royal funerals had taken place, and where generations of monarchs had marked pivotal moments in their lives. For William, the Abbey also held deeply personal significance, as it was where the nation had mourned his mother, Princess Diana, in 1997. To return there, this time in joy rather than grief, was a poignant full-circle moment. The choice reassured the British public that the young couple respected tradition while also forging their own path. The grandeur of Westminster Abbey could accommodate the 1,900 guests expected to attend, including royalty from around the world, heads of state, celebrities, and close family friends. Yet beyond the official guest list, millions of ordinary people planned to gather along the streets of London to witness history, while billions more would watch on television across the globe. The Abbey was not just a building, it was a stage upon which the past and future of the monarchy would meet. By selecting it, William and Kate acknowledged the weight of royal history, while also offering the promise of a new beginning that would carry the Windsor family into the 21st century with renewed hope and vitality. Of all the details leading up to the wedding, none drew more speculation or excitement than Kate's wedding dress. Designers from across the fashion world were rumored to be contenders, and endless debates filled newspapers and talk shows. When the moment finally arrived on April 29, 2011, their reveal did not disappoint. Kate stepped out of the car in a breathtaking ivory gown designed by Sarah Burton for Alexander McQueen, and the world gasped. The dress combined timeless tradition with modern elegance, featuring lace appliqué, a fitted bodice, and flowing skirt that echoed the grandeur of royal bridal gowns past while reflecting Kate's personal style of understated refinement. The intricate lace sleeves, hand-embroidered with flowers symbolizing the nations of the United Kingdom, carried cultural meaning, while the long train evoked memories of Princess Diana's legendary wedding dress without overshadowing it. Kate completed the look with the Cartier, halo, tiara, lent to her by Queen Elizabeth, and a simple veil that softened her regal presence with gentle grace. Fashion experts hailed the gown as a masterpiece, and almost instantly it set trends around the world, with brides rushing to copy its style. More importantly, it established Kate's image as a fashion icon whose choices balanced tradition and modernity. For the millions watching, her dress was not just a piece of clothing but a symbol of her transformation from commoner to future queen consort, embodying dignity, beauty, and the weight of history in every stitch. The morning of April 29 dawned bright and full of anticipation as thousands of people filled the streets of London to witness the royal procession. From Buckingham Palace to Westminster Abbey, every inch off road was lined with cheering crowds waving Union Jack flags, many of whom had camped overnight to secure a spot. Giant screens were set up in parks and squares so that no one would miss the historic event. Carriages gleamed, horses were polished to perfection, and soldiers in scarlet uniforms stood in precise formation, a dazzling display of royal pageantry. As Kate's car made its way through the streets, the crowds erupted with joy, shouting her name and showering her with affection. For many, this was not just the wedding of a future king and queen, but a moment of national unity and pride, a celebration that allowed Britons to momentarily set aside political or economic concerns and come together in shared joy. The sight of William and Kate traveling through London, surrounded by the grandeur of tradition yet clearly filled with personal happiness, was deeply moving. Around the world, television cameras broadcast the spectacle to over 2 billion viewers, making it one of the most watched events in history. The procession was not just about ceremony, it was about connection, allowing ordinary people to feel they were part of a royal fairy tale that blended centuries of tradition with the fresh promise of a new generation. Inside Westminster Abbey, a hush fell over the gathered congregation as music swelled and Kate began her walk down the long aisle, holding the arm of her father, Michael Middleton. The moment was breathtaking. Millions watched as the young woman who had once been an ordinary student now moved gracefully toward her destiny as the bride of a future king. William, waiting at the altar alongside his best man, Prince Harry, turned and smiled as Katie approached, his expression full of warmth and pride. The ceremony was steeped in tradition, yet it also reflected the couple's personal touches. Hymns and readings were carefully chosen to symbolize love, loyalty, and faith, while the Archbishop of Canterbury presided over the sacred vows. Kate's calm demeanor, William's steady presence, and the solemn grandeur of the Abbey combined to create a scene that was both intimate and monumental. For many viewers, it was a reminder of the enduring power of love and commitment even in the face of immense public expectation. The vows, spoken with sincerity and tenderness, bound William and Kate together not only as husband and wife but as partners in the weighty journey of royal life. It was a moment when history and romance blended seamlessly, capturing the hearts of all who watched. While the 1,900 guests inside Westminster Abbey experienced the wedding in person, the true scale of the event could be measured by the global audience. Over 2 billion people across the world tuned in to watch the ceremony, making it one of the most watched television broadcasts in history. From Times Square in New York to small villages in Africa, people gathered around screens to witness the spectacle. Social media buzzed with updates, as this was one of the first royal weddings of the digital age, where millions shared reactions online in real time. The global fascination underscored the enduring allure of monarchy in a modern world often skeptical of tradition. For many, it was a chance to share in a fairy tale moment, to believe in love and continuity across cultures and borders. William and Kate's wedding became not just a British event but a global celebration, uniting people from diverse backgrounds in a shared experience of joy. This international embrace cemented the couple's role as not only figures of national pride but also ambassadors of goodwill and modern royalty on the world stage. After the solemnity of the ceremony, the public awaited one of the most iconic moments in royal tradition, the appearance of the bride and groom on the balcony of Buckingham Palace. William and Kate emerged to thunderous applause from the sea of people gathered below, their smiles radiant as they waved to the crowds. The atmosphere was electric, with the joy of the moment shared by millions watching live around the world. Then came the kiss, brief, tender, and unforgettable. It was a gesture that symbolized not just their personal love but also the connection between the monarchy and the people. The balcony kiss has long been a cherished royal tradition, but in this instance, it carried special meaning. It was a moment of genuine intimacy shared openly, a sign that despite the grandeur of their surroundings, William and Kate remained grounded and human. The image of their kiss became one of the defining photographs of the decade, reproduced in newspapers, magazines, and online platforms everywhere. For the cheering crowd and the watching world, it was the perfect culmination of a day filled with history, romance, and celebration, sealing the couple's place in the hearts of millions. To many, the wedding of William and Kate was the realization of a modern fairy tale. The story of an ordinary girl who met a prince at university and eventually became his bride captivated imaginations across the globe. Yet what made the story resonate was not just the romance but the authenticity of their journey. Unlike arranged matches of the past, theirs was a relationship built on years of friendship, shared experiences, and mutual resilience. The wedding symbolized not only their love but also the evolving nature of the monarchy, more accessible, more relatable, and more in tune with the modern world. Kate's transformation from a middle-class young woman to the Duchess of Cambridge reflected a shift in what it meant to be royal. Her humility, grace, and ability to connect with ordinary people showed that the monarchy could remain relevant without abandoning tradition. The fairy tale quality of their story lay not in extravagance but in the balance of love and duty, personal happiness and public responsibility. For millions who watched, the wedding was not just a spectacle but a hopeful reminder that love can bridge worlds, uniting the ordinary and the extraordinary in a shared destiny. The aftermath of the wedding was marked by an outpouring of joy and admiration from both the British public and the international community. Streets were filled with celebrations, souvenir shops sold memorabilia bearing the couple's faces, and newspapers carried glowing headlines about the new Duke and Duchess of Cambridge. For many Britons, the wedding was a source of national pride, a moment of unity that uplifted the country during a time of economic and social challenges. Abroad, the fascination was equally strong, with commentators praising the couple for their poise, elegance, and authenticity. The event was not merely a royal milestone but a cultural phenomenon, shaping fashion trends, inspiring popular culture, and reinforcing the monarchy's global appeal. Kate, in particular, was lauded for her ability to handle the immense pressure of the day with calm grace, winning over skeptics who had once doubted her readiness for royal life. The overwhelming positivity of the public reaction solidified William and Kate's place as beloved figures, embodying both continuity and renewal in the eyes of the world. With the wedding concluded, William and Kate embarked on the next chapter of their lives together as the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge. Their union symbolized not only the continuation of royal tradition but also the promise of a more modern monarchy, one that valued accessibility and authenticity alongside ceremony. For Kate, the day marked the culmination of a remarkable journey from an ordinary upbringing to the global stage, but it was also just the beginning of a lifetime of duty, service, and love. For William, it was fulfillment of a personal and public destiny, shared with the woman who had stood by him through years of trials and growth. Together, they represented stability, continuity, and hope for the future of the crown. The wedding of the century was not merely a single day of celebration, it was the foundation of a partnership that would define a new era of the British monarchy. As they waved to the crowds and retreated into the palace, the cheers of the people echoed a sentiment that spanned generations. The story of William and Kate was no longer just theirs, but a story shared with the world, a story of love, resilience, and the promise of a future built together.